On March 11, 2026, the situation inside Stryker's network was no longer a technical problem. It was a full-scale cyber incident, causing a global disruption to the company's Microsoft environment. Systems were disrupted, employees lost access, and the company had to determine whether the attackers were still inside. But one fact mattered immediately. Stryker confirmed its medical products, including connected devices, were not affected and remained safe to use. The disruption was inside the company's own internal systems, not the products themselves. The first priority was containment. Affected systems were isolated, connections were examined, and investigators began searching for the source of the attack. But there was a dangerous problem. In a major cyber attack, the first sign of damage may not be the end. Sometimes, the attacker is still watching. Stryker also had to keep operating. That created an impossible balance. Recover quickly, but do not reconnect systems that may still be compromised. Move too fast, and the attack could continue. Move too slowly, and the disruption could become even worse. At first, Stryker said there was no indication of ransomware or malware. But investigations rarely end at the first conclusion. Stryker later said that, with help from outside experts including Palo Alto Networks Unit 42, investigators identified a malicious file used to run commands and conceal activity inside the environment. Then, a group known as Handala claimed responsibility. The claim immediately attracted attention. But in cybersecurity, a claim is not proof. Investigators need evidence, technical traces, malware, infrastructure, and patterns of behavior. The possible connection to Iran made the incident even more serious, because this may not have been just another criminal attack. It could have been connected to a wider geopolitical conflict. But attribution is complicated. Attackers can lie, groups can use false identities, and digital evidence can be deliberately misleading. So investigators had to ask the most important question: who was really behind the attack? And what did they actually want? That question split the story into two possible paths. If the attackers wanted money, this was another major cybercrime operation. If the attack was politically motivated, the consequences could be much larger. Because cyber attacks have become part of international conflict. A network can be disrupted from thousands of miles away. A company can be attacked without a single person crossing a border. And the real attacker may remain hidden behind a name like Handala. A message posted online may be genuine, it may be exaggerated, or it may be designed to create confusion. Either way, the Stryker incident was already serious on its own. A major medical technology company had suffered a significant digital disruption, and healthcare depends on connections. Manufacturers, suppliers, distributors, hospitals, all connected, and every connection creates risk. Then, the investigation raised an even more disturbing question. Was this ransomware? Or was the real goal destruction? Ransomware locks data. The attacker wants money. The victim wants recovery. But destructive malware is different. A wiper is designed to destroy. There may be no negotiation, no payment that guarantees recovery, and no reason for the attacker to restore anything. That possibility made the Stryker incident especially concerning. Reports raised questions about destructive activity affecting a large number of devices. The exact details remained under investigation, but the central question was clear. Was the goal to steal or to cause damage? A destructive attack can be far more difficult to recover from. Systems may need to be rebuilt, data may be lost, and the organization may be forced to start again. The real-world impact can spread quickly. Orders are delayed, production slows, shipping becomes difficult, employees lose access to essential systems, and the attack becomes a business crisis. That is why backups matter. But backups must also be protected. If attackers can reach them, they may destroy those too. Organizations need isolated recovery systems, strong identity protection, network segmentation, and tested recovery plans. Because during a cyber attack, a rushed recovery can create an even bigger problem. And then, investigators began asking another question. How many systems were actually affected? One number began spreading through reports. More than 200,000 devices. If accurate, the scale would be extraordinary. But the number was not publicly confirmed by Stryker as an official figure. And that distinction matters. What does affected actually mean? Were devices completely wiped, temporarily disconnected, or simply part of a network experiencing disruption? These are very different situations. Still, the number raised serious concerns. Modern companies depend on thousands of connected systems: computers, servers, laptops, cloud platforms, network equipment. The attacker may not need to compromise every device individually. They may only need one powerful control point, one administrator account, one management system, one trusted connection. And suddenly, a single action can affect thousands of systems. That is why identity security is so important. Who is logging in? Where are they logging in from? And what are they doing? Because a legitimate account can still be used by an attacker. The number of affected devices may never tell the full story. The bigger question is, how much control did the attacker have? Because affecting 200,000 devices is dangerous. But controlling the system that can reach 200,000 devices may be even more dangerous. And that kind of control leaves a cost far beyond the devices themselves. The cost of a cyber attack is rarely just the ransom. The real damage continues long after the attackers disappear. Every delayed order, every interrupted operation, every hour spent rebuilding adds to the cost. For a major medical technology company, a digital disruption can affect manufacturing, shipping, communication, and customers. The attack becomes a business continuity crisis. This is why cybersecurity is no longer only about protecting data. It is about protecting operations. A company may survive losing information, but losing the ability to manufacture or deliver products can create far greater damage. Recovery is also complicated. Security teams must determine what was compromised, check backups, review accounts, rebuild systems, and make sure the attacker cannot return. A rushed recovery can create a second attack. The incident also exposed the risks of supply chains. A company connects to suppliers. Suppliers connect to logistics. Logistics connect to customers. One disruption can move through the entire ecosystem. That is why cyber risk is now a boardroom issue. Companies must ask, can we keep operating if our systems fail? Can critical products still be delivered? And how quickly can we recover? Those answers must exist before the attack begins. The first lesson is simple. Companies need to know what they own. Unknown devices, old accounts, outdated software, forgotten connections, all create risk. The second lesson is identity protection. A stolen account can be more valuable than a technical exploit. Multi-factor authentication makes access harder, but organizations must also monitor behavior. Where is the account logging in? What is it accessing? And is that activity normal? The third lesson is segmentation. A compromised system should not automatically reach everything else. Critical systems must be separated. Permissions must be limited. And users should only have the access they actually need. The fourth lesson is backup protection. A backup that attackers can reach may not be a real backup. Recovery systems should be isolated and regularly tested. The fifth lesson is preparation. During an attack, confusion costs time. Companies need to know who makes decisions, who manages the technical response, and how operations continue. Finally, organizations must understand their supply chains. A third-party connection can become an attacker's entry point. You cannot control every company connected to your network, but you can limit access, monitor connections, and reduce unnecessary trust. There is no perfect defense. The goal is to make attacks harder, detect them earlier, limit their movement, and recover faster. Those lessons apply far beyond one company, because the Stryker incident's consequences reached far beyond computers. That is the most important lesson. Cyber attacks can affect healthcare, manufacturing, supply chains, transportation, and everyday life. A digital problem can quickly become a real-world problem. A company loses access to its systems. Orders are delayed. Operations are interrupted. Customers are affected. And the damage moves outward. This is why critical industries are attractive targets. Some attackers want money. Others want political influence. Some want intelligence. And some simply want disruption. Modern attacks may involve entire ecosystems, access brokers, malware developers, operators, stolen credentials, and automated tools. The future of cybercrime may not depend on one genius hacker. It may depend on how efficiently attackers combine different tools. But defenders are evolving too. Security teams are using artificial intelligence. Identity monitoring is becoming more advanced. And critical industries are investing in resilience. Still, technology alone cannot solve the problem. The strongest security system can fail if nobody understands the environment. The best backup can fail if it has never been tested. And the fastest detection system is useless if nobody knows how to respond. That is why resilience matters. Detect the attack, contain it, protect critical systems, and recover. Because the question is no longer, will cyber attacks happen? They already are. The real question is, how much damage will the next one cause? Somewhere. Right now. A criminal group may already be searching for its next target. One password, one forgotten system, one vulnerable connection. The next attack may begin with something incredibly small, but the consequences could be enormous. Because the most dangerous part of a cyber attack is not always the moment the attacker gets inside. Sometimes, it is the moment nobody realizes they are there. The Stryker incident showed how quickly a major organization can be pushed into uncertainty. It showed that cyber attacks can disrupt global businesses without destroying a single building. And it showed that digital infrastructure is now part of the real-world infrastructure society depends on. The question is no longer, can a company be attacked? The question is, how prepared is it when the attack happens? Because the next target could be a company, a hospital, a supply chain, or a system millions of people depend on without even knowing it exists. And when that system goes dark, the world may not see the hacker. It may only see the consequences. A shipment that never arrives. A service that stops working. A factory that goes silent. A network that disappears. And somewhere, behind the screen, someone may be watching. That is the new reality of cyber warfare. The battlefield is invisible. The weapons are digital. And the next attack may already be waiting. If you enjoyed this documentary, subscribe to CyberVault for more true stories about cyber attacks, ransomware, hackers, artificial intelligence, and the hidden digital battles shaping our world. Because the next attack may not begin with an explosion. It may begin with one connection.